There you go. So now you know you're being recorded. So welcome to our new starters meeting. Now, normally we've got you all in the hall and we have a lovely time and you can see faces. And this is the second year we've had to do it like this, which is pretty rubbish. But we made it work last year. The wonderful Miss Selwyn and Miss Nicholas, who are right in the middle of my screen, not sure where they are on yours, but they're there with us and they really did make it work. Now, last year was a bit more challenging in a sense that we weren't allowed to have anyone in for transition visits. But what we did is we did them in the very last week of August into the first week of September. We are praying with all our might that we are able to bring you in for transition visits with us over these next few weeks. Now, I have been made aware that Public Health England are going to be making an announcement tomorrow because the Delta variant is getting closer and closer. So it's moved from Greater Manchester. We've got hotspots in Northwich and Winsford. It's now moved into Chester. And they're discussing whether or not putting the whole of us as a hotspot area. If that were to be the case, we might have to postpone a few things, but it doesn't mean they're going to disappear. It just means that Miss Selwyn, Miss Nicholas and myself will have to get our heads together and we'll have to think of some dates that we could move things to. So please don't worry if you hear scare stories about other transition things in other schools being cancelled. Don't worry, just bear with us and we will rearrange whatever we have to. But at this moment, we're praying and we get a lot for our prayers, I tell you here. And we're praying that we will be able to bring you in, but it might look slightly different to what we would have. So that's that bit over with. That's the nasty bit, really, the fact that everything we've planned might change. But it's a really, really warm welcome to you all. You have joined the most amazing family by coming along here to Tarporley Primary School. We all adore our school. Our children are the best children you could ever hope to meet. We are a family and we get on majority of the time. We fall out now and then, but what we do is we teach our children how to get through that. And so we learn it's okay to fall out and it's about that forgiveness. And we do, you know, we're a church school. We're very proud of being a church school. We're not here to convert your children, but we do openly teach through the Bible. We openly teach through our Christian values and our spirituality runs through everything. And it's really is what makes us what we are. And we love that element of us. And we're just so delighted that you're joining us. So I've been here now for a long time. It always used to be, oh, I haven't been here very long, but I have actually. I've been here since 2012. Is that right, Mr. Nicholas? Wow, that's like 10 years next year. It's the longest I've ever been anywhere. In my career, I've been in 7 schools. So I started teaching down in Nottinghamshire and then moved back to Cheshire. I taught in Winsford, I taught in Nantwich, I took a headship on in Shavington and then a headship in Frodsham, and then I came for my headship here. I actually came for this headship twice. The first time I came, they appointed someone else and he didn't last very long. So then they re-advertised it and I thought, that's my job, I'm going back there. And 10 years later, we've got the most wonderful school. So you're going to have great fun. We have got 7 years together. I know, that's what you brought into, a 7-year relationship. And it's that partnership. We want to work with you as parents. In a normal year, you would be into our school for so many different wonderful events. Birthday lunch, where you come and have dinner with your child. We have curriculum hours. We have all sorts of really great things. Grandparents' afternoons. COVID has stopped us doing that, and we're really sad about that. So we are hoping in time who knows when that all those things will be able to start to come back, and we really do want to bring them back because we do miss those things. So this evening I'm going to hand over in a minute to Miss. I do like to talk, by the way, you will notice that, and I like to write you emails as well. I always think it's better that you know everything than not knowing anything at all. So in a minute I'll hand over to Miss Selwyn and Miss Nicholas. But just while we've got you, I'd like to introduce you to Mrs. Taylor. So, Mrs. Taylor, do you want to say a little hello and say who you are? You have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I did. I was just looking for the unmute button. I am not an expert at doing this. You're doing it all the time. I'm not. I'm Mrs. Taylor. I'm the bursar here. So I pay the bills, do the ordering, and anything to do with money, basically. Some of you might have met me. I did some of the show arounds. But who you'll see more often than not is Miss Cadman, who answers the phones, and Mrs. Lovelock, who does all the admissions. I think you probably know both of them more than you know me. But we are your office team. We are here to help and support you. Mrs. Lovelock and myself are both mums. I am not going to tell you how old our children are because it makes us feel far too old. But they both came to the primary school before we both worked here. So we are mums. So if you have any questions, please do ring or catch us on the gate, because we'd rather you ask a question than not know and worry about it. So we are here to help and support you. We've also got, as part of our sort of support team, we've got Mr. Martin and Mr. Gilbody, who are our site maintenance officer and caretaker. Some of you that have got children probably see Mr. Martin because he's out on the gate at the front in the mornings, very bubbly character. And we've also got the cleaners and the midday assistants. So as Kerry said, we are very much a family here. And I'm not with the children quite as much as I used to be and as I'd like to be, but I still do a bit of midday and every now and then to sort of keep up with them, and it is a lovely place to be, and I think your children will have a wonderful time here. So like I say, any questions, please, you know, just give us a ring and ask, and we'll do our best to help you. And I wish you all well.
Mrs. Taylor also runs our netball club for the older children. So if your children are interested in netball as they get into Upper Key Stage 2, then we have Mrs. Line and Mrs. Taylor who run that, which is just, that's a joy, isn't it? That's when you just...
It is lovely. I do colouring club as well, actually. Well, yep. Obviously not in COVID, but...
Yeah, pre-COVID.
Yeah.
We will go back.
We will get there eventually.
We do. We used to, and we will in the future, have lots of clubs for your children to access. It tends to be the reception clubs come in more for the spring and the summer term, because as Miss Nicholas will tell you, they will be exhausted when they start with us. You might think, but they're in full-time nursery, they'll be fine. When they start school, that's when they really feel it. My little boy is now in year 1, and he was in full-time nursery because I was here, and if you met him, you wouldn't think he could be drained of energy, but Miss Nicholas managed to do that. So it was great. You have really, really good night's sleep for about, I don't know, 4 weeks. Then they get used to it. Then they start getting grumpy because they're too tired. So anyway, we're here this evening to answer any of your questions. Miss Nicholas and Miss Selwyn will introduce themselves and take you through what to expect in a day of your child's life when they start with us. So it's lovely to welcome you all. I'm going to be with you till 4:30, then I am going to disappear because I do have another meeting, I'm afraid, to rush off to, but you'll be in the capable hands of Miss Nicholas and Miss Selwyn.
Oh, we're unmuted. Thank you, Mrs. Forrester. We're here. We're just, you know, getting used to the technology. Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you. So I'm Miss Nicholas and this is Miss Selwyn, but we have the 2 reception classes here. So I have the hedgehog class and Miss Selwyn has the dormice class, and we're just going to share a little presentation.
Try and share our screen.
So I think we're going to share screen.
And then that.
Yeah. And then should be able to... You'd think we're better at this by now. We did a lot of home learning as well, believe it or not. We're still right.
Okay,
So
fantastic.
so welcome to Tarporley. It's so lovely to see you. Thank you for joining us. So this evening we're going to talk about school life, introduce you to the staff in our class and our year group, talk about the new early years framework, because amongst all of everything else that's going on, we've got a brand new early years framework coming in September, just to add to everything. A day in our class, what that looks like, essentials, things you're going to need every day, what lunch is like, how that runs. Like Mrs. Forrester said, we do lots of extracurricular things. As many of those opportunities as we can possibly run will run in September, but we'll just kind of tell you what's normal, and then we'll see where we are in a few months' time, because it changes every day, to be honest. Our church and chapel links, which are really, really important to us, PTA and parental involvement. We're going to jump in from the beginning and ask you to join the PTA, everyone. The school website and our Twitter and everything we have online. What September 2021 will look like, that again comes with a health warning, because we don't know yet, and then there's some time for some questions at the end, but fingers crossed we'll have answered all those for you. So you've just met Mrs. Forrester. There she is with her straight hair, Mrs. Forrester, straight hair, Mrs. Forrester. Then we've got myself, so I teach the hedgehogs, and Miss Selwyn, who teaches the dormice class, but we're really lucky we actually have other adults who'll be working in our classroom in September. So we'll have Mrs. Line, who'll be here full-time, we'll have Miss Bowden, who'll be here part-time, and Miss Stanton, who'll be here part-time as well. So there's loads of, we've got 2 classes, but lots of adults as well. It's not quite like at preschool where you have a key worker, so you've got 1 teacher for your child, but then you've got lots of extra adults as well. So the early years foundation stage framework, it's all changing in September. So across the top, we've got our hexagons. Now they're staying the same. They're in the current framework. The early years principles are not staying. It's all about your child being a unique child, because we know every child is different. It's about forming positive relationships with staff in school and you guys at home, having an enabling environment, which means your children can learn, and therefore they're going to learn and develop properly. So those are staying the same. The reason that it's being changed, you can see the aims at the bottom there, and there's going to be a massive focus on language and vocabulary to close a word gap, which is developing in our children, not our children personally, but across the country at the moment. We want children's language to really, really improve. So there'll be a huge focus on vocabulary. As a school, we do a huge focus on reading. Our curriculum is all taught through books and stories, and that links in with the communication and language aspects of things. So you will hear us say the word read maybe 10 million times next year. We will say read, read, read all the time. And we're all about reading to children, reading with children, and children reading to you guys as well. And then that is what they want to do, is to strengthen maths and English outcomes at the end of year for our children. So that's why they're changing the curriculum. And therefore they want children to be better prepared to go into year 1, and therefore national curriculum. For us, the assessment is easier. They want us to have less of a teacher workload. I'm never going to moan about that. And there's no longer going to be an exceeding judgment. So at the end of the year, when you get your report, your children will have made the expected level, or might be still developing in that area. And from September, there will be a statutory baseline that all children will sit, but don't worry about that. We'll talk to you more about that in September. Let's go for basics at the moment. So there are 17 early learning goals that your children will be assessed against under the 7 areas. Those names haven't changed, but some of those early learning goals at the end of the year are going to look a little bit different next year. You might not have had a child who's gone through the whole early years framework yet, or you might have had 2 or 3. For those who have been through it before, they're going to look a little bit different. For example, the numbers early learning goal won't be numbers to 20 anymore. We'll be focusing on a deeper understanding of numbers to 10. So it's little changes like that. Again, that's not for you guys to worry about. It's just so you're aware that things are going to be a little bit different, with that big focus on communication and language. And your unique child is going to have the 3 characteristics of effective learning running through everything we do, which is we want children to be active learners. We want them to create and critically think and play and explore. And if all those things go really well, you're going to have lifelong learners. And that's the most important thing. We want children learning forever, not just while they're at school. We want engaging adults as well.
hello, my turn. So we have our 2P sessions a week. So this will be 1P lesson will be with our Premier Sports, who come in and do lots of activities with the children. Ours are currently practicing for Sports Day right now. So Mr. Morris is in every single week with all the children throughout the school. And we are really fortunate to have them for 1P lesson a week. The other PE lesson that we will have is our Wake Up Shake Up, which will link in with our expressive arts, design and movement, so physical development and everything that goes with that. And we need to have our children in all the right PE kits, so a red school t-shirt, black shorts or joggers, depending on the weather, the red school jumper and black pumps or trainers. So if your child wears any ear piercings or anything like that, we just ask that you kindly just take them up and wear your hair back, ready for those PE sessions each week. And also please make sure that all items, even, you know, the pumps, black pumps, shorts, t-shirts, everything is labeling, because we have noticed over the last few months everything goes missing in a reception classroom. We're so busy, so everything needs to be labeled and ready for the week ahead. So labels are our best friends in reception. So please continue to use labels for everything that you know, water bottles, your book bags, anything like that, just so they don't go missing in reception. So everyday essentials that we leave in school and take home. So you must have your book bag, a water bottle that's clearly labelled, and anything depending on the weather, so scarf, coat, gloves, hat, anything like that, or a sun hat to leave in, take to school every single day, and then to leave in school, a spare change of clothing, so underwear and socks and pants and things like that, labelled as well. We have spare things in our cupboard, so don't worry if you don't have any to bring in daily, but we do have some in our cupboards as well. And leave our welly boots, so in the winter we will have our Wellington boots in our outdoor area, and they will stay in school for the rest of the year. And you will all have the bag in your pack if you collected your starter pack the other day, where the children can bring in a small toy and leave in their tray in school. So our school dinners are one of the highlights of our children's days. They absolutely love our school dinners. Justina, our cook, is incredible. She caters to every need. So please let us know if your child has any allergies, dairy intolerances and things like that. Please let us know and let the office know as well, so we can cater to them. So children in Key Stage 1, so that's reception, Year 1 and Year 2, are entitled to free school dinners. This year we have had lots of jacket potato lovers in our classes, but we have a variety of dinners that are on a 3-week rolling cycle. So there's no additional requirements for this. All children are able to have our school lunches at no extra cost. So you're more than welcome to bring in a packed lunch if you'd like to, or do our hot dinners in school. So please don't feel as though if your child doesn't like a particular option on one of the days, you can always swap out for a packed lunch. So as you can see, there's beaming smiles on that photo, because we absolutely love our dinners in school.
I think if your child has a significant allergy, if you can get a letter from the doctors to confirm that they do, if it's just something that you're trialing, so it's not an allergy, I think it should be okay. But the catering company that we use do ask for letters from your GP if your child has a significant allergy. And obviously if it's EpiPen level, then please do let us know as soon as possible.
So this is one of the weeks of our 3-week rolling cycle. So as you can see, the columns are clearly labelled, where there'll be a hot dinner, then a sandwich-based option B, and then a jacket potato every single day. And then puddings are one of our favourites as well. So you can see there's a selection of different puddings each and every day. The children that will also then get either water, milk or juice, or on special occasions we have lots of milkshakes and things like that. But daily, from day to day, it will be milk or water really. So as you can see along the top, you'll have your sausage and mash, your pastas, your roast dinners every week. And Justina is known for her fantastic homemade chicken curry as well, which is a firm favourite in reception. And then on Friday, it will always be fish and chips or pizza. So you can find our 3-week rolling cycle of our menus on our school website, and you can sit with your child and look at the different options the day before, and if they don't like any of the options on that day, you can swap for a packed lunch and bring that into school as well. So we have our 4 houses here in school. So when your child comes into school, they will be put into a house. So we have the Chester, Cholmondeley, Peckforton and Beeston. So the red, yellow, green or blue team, we call it. So they'll every day will work towards getting house points. So for good manners, you can get house points for good work, sitting nicely. Think everyday things that we think the children are looking out for those good choices. We give those and award those house points to. So they put these in their cups. And at the end of the week, during Mrs. Forrester's celebration assembly, we count all the house points of your team. And at the end of a half term, those count towards the house shield. So your house, if your house wins, you get the house shield for that half term. So everything we do in teams. So sports day, we will do in teams as well. So the red, yellow, green or blue. And your child will be in one of those houses throughout the rest of their school career. And then, as it's a COVID year this year, obviously some of these things have not happened, but on a normal school year, we have many a club that we absolutely love running. So I'm part of the choir, so I run the choir for Key Stage 2. Unfortunately, we don't really have any choirs in Key Stage 1 or EYFS, but when your child gets to year 2, they are able to join the choir with me. So I'm not too sure if you're...
I used to do hockey. So on a Monday, Mrs. Brighton, who's an amazing volunteer, she used to be a teaching assistant here. Mrs. Brighton and I would take the minibus and we'd go down to Deeside with our Key Stage 2 kids to play hockey for an hour. Loved it. We really miss it. So hopefully, yeah, we'll have some clubs back soon.
So on the left, you'll be able to see some of the wide range of extracurricular activities we have on. So gardening club, football club, jigsaws, Lego, which is a firm favourite, and Mrs. Forrester runs that. So it's always a good thing to have Lego as well in the classroom and as a club. Colouring club, Mrs. Taylor, Mrs. Lovelock, they used to run, and arts and crafts, which is another favourite of ours. So trips and visits, again, pre-COVID were an absolute must each and every half term. So we would have really, really strong links with the church and go to church. Imagine that is a great trip that we love going on each and every year. We go to the Panto at Christmas, Tatton Park, the World Museum, library visits down in Tarporley High School, and the Story House. We've recently been going to the Story House for some of our Christmas shows, so it's a great way of getting out and about into the community as well. So as Mrs. Forrester has already said, we have really, really strong links to the church and chapel in Tarporley. So we've got St. Helen's Church and the Baptist Chapel as well. So our mission statement is let your light shine. So we believe that all the children have this shining light that they can let off every single day when they come into school. They have that light and they always shine. So our church normally will be St. Helen's Church, and we will go through our harvest, our nativity, the carol service, Christingle, Easter, and the Leavers service for year 6. We hold many assembly there, and we've just been appointed our new Reverend, who's Rev Jim Bridgman. So we're really looking forward to welcoming our Reverend into our school family as well. And then the Baptist Chapel, we have the toddler group, which are Tuesdays at 10 a.m, Bible Club and assemblies, and with Nick Willis as well.
Okay, so as we said before, we love to get parents involved. We love to get you in school, and if we could, we'd have you in here all the time. But ways you can get involved, you've got the school website. There is not a question that can't be answered on that school website. All the information is there, we do promise you. And we have our school Twitter, which we would really highly recommend you follow us on Twitter. We are at Tarporley CE. You'll see so many pictures of what we're doing. You can keep up to date with what we're doing. And one of your forms, I think you've got somewhere, is going to ask permission for your child to be on Twitter. We do recommend it. It's really lovely. We don't identify them by name, but it's a really nice way for you to see what we've been doing and keep up to date. Primary news comes out, can't remember how often, could be weekly, could be monthly, but that's just got dates information on it. But we actually do a Friday blog that's just for reception. So on a Friday, you'll get an email with a link to our blog, which basically says what we've done that week, what our topic is, anything you can do to further your children's learning at home. We don't set homework as such, but we just send that blog with some ideas of what you can do. And it also helps because your child will definitely come home and say they've done absolutely nothing every day. Even though we promise you they will do lots of things, they will tell you they don't. So the Friday blog is just a really good way of saying, actually, I'm pretty sure you've been outside today planting bulbs. So, and also have a look out for that. We would normally have a mystery reader where we invite parents in to come and read as a bit of a surprise. We're going to figure out a way to do that. You could be a Zoom mystery reader. We don't know. We obviously do parents' evenings in the autumn and the spring term, and the summer you'll get a report on your child's progress. We used to do curriculum hours where you could come in and watch us teach and join in with your children's learning. Again, that we'll see if they happen next year, but that could be happening year 1, 2, 3, so it might just be a little bit of a wait for one of those. And we used to do Mothering Sunday and have mums in, and we used to have grandparents afternoon. We used to get the grandparents in, and I've underlined the PTA because this is my PTA plea. Please join the PTA. It's really good fun. I'm on the T section, the teacher section, and we do loads of exciting things over the year. We run the Christmas fair, we have big fundraisers, we do the beer festival. That's a slightly separate subcommittee, but if anyone's into the beer festival, we'd love to have you. We had a couple of parents 2 years ago in Sebi's year that they actually worked in beer. They work at beer companies, so they were great people that we got on at that point. We do the ball in the summer, and we have barbecues, and they run the sports day coffees normally, so the PTA are massively involved, but they raise an insane amount of money for our school. There are so many things that you can see around our school environment that they've paid for, and they actually managed to pay for a whole minibus. Just the PTA raises money and pays for the minibus independently. So we couldn't do so many things without them. They're absolutely amazing. So if you are interested in joining the PTA, then come and speak to me at any point, and I'll put you in touch with the lovely ladies and gentlemen who are on there already. Well, thanks, Miss Owen. Oh yeah, so the school website and Twitter, I've already mentioned that, but just to give you some more information, so on the school website, you'll see any letters, our weekly blog, photos, dates, things to do at home. And on the Twitter, we might put on photos of really good work we've seen, what we've been doing, and just gives you an update. And it's kind of a nice way to have a look through the week without waiting for the blog on a Friday. Tapestry. Now, I don't know if anyone's got Tapestry from their preschool or nursery or ever seen it before. It's an online learning journal platform. So I've borrowed Sebi's from a couple of years ago. So what you do is in September, so your provision form I think is in your pack because Mrs. Lovelock is super organised. So you just sign that to say that you're going to follow all the rules, and then we will send you, once we've got that permission slip back in September, we'll give you a link, and basically you can see your child's learning day to day. So it's for wow moments. So anytime we're in the classroom and we think, wow, we have not seen that child do that before, that is amazing, we will take a photo and put it on Tapestry, and then that helps them assess them as the year goes on. And actually what's amazing is you guys can put on photos. So anything that you're doing at home, out and about with your child, they say something, they do something, and you think, that is amazing, I have not seen that before, then you are more than welcome to upload that, and we love to see it. And we've also used it a little bit while the COVID's been on as a bit of a show and tell. So parents have been taking pictures of their children at the moment, outside, gardening things, we're doing a growth topic, and it's been really useful to use to show pictures of what children do at home. So really, really fantastic. So you'll get that link in September. It's a little person pop up. So September 2021. So as Mrs. Forrest said, comes with a bit of a health warning. So at the moment, your child's going to be joining us for 3 mornings and then 3 afternoons for the first 6 days, and then they're going to be full time from Friday the 10th, because the first day back at school is the previous Thursday, the 2nd, I think that would be. So the first full day would be the Friday. It would be part-time up till that. Now, again, the morning group and the afternoon group, I've put on here the timings that if we are in normal life. But again, we're not quite sure. I'm sorry. We would love to give you more information. And every time we think we can, something stops us or something changes. What you need to know is there'll be mornings, there'll be afternoons. What we're going to try and do is the stay and play sessions we've got over the next month or so, we'd like to put the children in the same groups that they'd be in September. So they're kind of getting to know that small group. There'll be hopefully no more than 10 or 11 in a group to keep them quite small. It means we can get to know each other better. It means the children can get to know each other better. So if you haven't already let us know where your child goes to preschool, then please let us know as soon as possible, and we will try to make those groups so that nobody's coming on their own, unless they obviously don't know anyone already. We'll try our best to match children by preschools, because at the moment we've just got a list of names and we're not quite sure where everyone's come from or where they're going or who their best friend is. Last year was even harder to try and put children in classes and groups. If you've already sent it, send it again. Send it 3 times. There are not enough times you can send us information. Please let us know, and as soon as we can, we'll send the groups out, we'll send the times out. But please keep checking that Reception 2021 email group, because things do change, unfortunately. The guidance is changing all the time. Suddenly what is suggested becomes sort of rules and laws. So we're kind of working off our predictions of how things are going to open up. Obviously, what Mrs. Forrester said, they might not. So if it doesn't happen yet, we will quite happily come in over the summer holidays towards the end, and we'll let you know as soon as we can get those dates. If that's the case, ideally we'll get you in. We would really like the children to have a chance to be in the classroom. I mean, it's great coming and playing outside. We can do that loads, but it would be really great if we can get them so they can actually see their classroom environment as well. If we are allowing people in, we would ask that adults take a lateral flow test in that morning as best they can. We're not going to stand at the door and ask you for proof. We're not going to ask for a passport or anything. But, you know, if you can take a lateral flow test that morning, that would be greatly appreciated for your safety and ours. And then wear a mask when you come in as well. That would be fantastic, because we will be obviously mixing a bit. So yeah, I think that's everything. Obviously, we'll let you know as soon as we change that, or if it does change, if it doesn't change. But the email with your child's group and dates and times will be out in the next week. We'll give everyone about a week to let us know nurseries and preschools, and then we can try and make the groups as connected as possible so that you always know someone. I think that's all we have to say, believe it or not. Thank you for listening. Oh, I think I've pressed something wrong. Yeah, right, okay, should be back. Okay, so hopefully you can now just see us. Thank you so much for listening. I know we've just bombarded you with a ton of information, but everything we've said is in your pack as well, so it should mirror that. The pack is also on the school website under the Starting Tarporley CE Reception page. There's loads on there, so hopefully the information's there. Obviously, you can always email the office or ring the office and ask them, admin at Tarporley CE, and they'll pass it on to us, and we'll get back to you. And if it's questions that are happening regularly, we'll email the 2021 group so everyone's got the answers. But has anyone got any immediately burning questions?
If you want to put them in the chat, please feel free to.
Or you can put them in the chat if you don't want to ask it, but you're all welcome to unmute if you really feel brave.
I guess no questions. I'd just like to say this is my first child joining school and I'm super excited. I'm so happy she's joining.
That's nice to hear. Thank you.
Yeah, it's very exciting. A little overwhelming. I feel a little emotional, but
oh, bless you. We've just given you a lot of information. I know we've just literally thrown you a million pieces of information, but it is, and I think reception is the most amazing year group to work in. We feel so lucky to have this year group. You know, it is the first of everything. It's going to be the first sports day, the first nativity, you know, the first day of school, all those first, and we do really try and document them as best we can. So that tapestry is amazing. We'll, you know, you'll get a first day picture when they get here. I'm sure you take your own, obviously, but we like to do ones in school, and we're about to do a bit of a video end of year show to celebrate our year. I won't give too much away because there's exciting things on there, but you know, we try to make it is a really special year. So yeah, thank you.
Any more questions?
Only a quick one. I've got an older daughter she's in year 3, and Louisa is really excited to be starting school and being with the big sister. She cannot wait. She's been wearing her dress already, ready to go in. Is there any? I know there's restrictions around how much Bubbles interact at all, but would she have an opportunity to see her older sister at all at any point? Not obviously withstanding Bubbles and stuff, but in a normal.
Yeah, in normal life, yes, tons. Yeah, we do. They all play together outside at break times and lunch times, and we are a big family, so we've always played together. Lunch times have always been mixed. And we go to assemblies together. You know, in non-COVID, absolutely loads. And we would normally have year 6 buddies. I don't want to make any false promises this year, because I think equally this year the year 6s have been as gutted as the receptions that we haven't been. So in normal life, yeah, lots and lots. At the moment, unfortunately, because if there's any contact and then anyone has a positive case, those bubbles are isolating. We just keep ourselves a little bit contained to make sure that, because at the moment we've got 42-ish children, that's 42 families who are isolating if there was a positive case in here. So we are keeping them separate purely for that reason, purely so that the whole school isn't isolating if we ever have a positive case. But yeah, in normal life, we would 100% we mix as much as possible. I really miss it. I feel like I haven't seen Key Stage 2 in ages. I haven't seen the children, I haven't seen the staff. We only see each other over virtual. So, but yeah, we would try normally as much as we can. And fingers crossed, things are next year are a little bit better.
Thank you.
Well, well, honestly, please email if you don't feel like you want to ask now. Please ring the office. Please do ask as many questions as you can. It's absolutely not a problem. And thank you so much for coming today.
And we look forward to seeing next Thursday for our sports afternoon from 4 p.m. till 5 p.m. on the school field. So please feel free to join us as much as you can. And if you can, don't worry if you can't. We will hope to have as many stay-in plays as we can. So thank you for joining us this evening. And yeah,
we'll see you soon.
We'll see you very, very soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. It's been great. Bye.